Hey, what's going on here? YouTuber who puts in effort and gets no views here. Today we're going to be doing another FSX mod review. This time, the Thomas Ruth... the Thomas Ruth A300. This happens to be the A300 600 in FedEx livery, and we're here at Memphis, Tennessee. Little snowy. Even though it's like the 5th day of spring, it's still snowing outside, which is always annoying. Not in Memphis, Tennessee, where I live, which is Detroit area, in case you don't know. So this is again a great aircraft. It's a mega pack. Comes with a lot of options. You've got your 600, the S1, the S2, the S3. The Super Transport, and the 600. The other ones have a flight engineer. This doesn't. The other ones also have steam gauges, or the S1, S2, and S3, I believe. Other than that, they're pretty similar. We happen to be FedEx livery because FedEx is one of the largest operators of the A300, as well as DHL and UPS. But I decided to do FedEx because oh, the snow's gone. FedEx because I don't know. Alright, so before we take off, let's hit our shift button. Shift 1, nice overview. Shift 2. Come on. Okay, GPS, that's nice. Shift 3, you got your comms. Shift 4, engine, instruments, and trim down there. I don't know why I'm pointing at it. Shift 5, early overhead. Let's turn on our smoking signs even though. Also, when you turn on the smoking signs, you got to see all of these are functional, including if I turn off the hydraulic pumps. You actually, you still have control. Who am I kidding? But normally, give that a few minutes after you turn these off, and you actually won't have control of the jet, which is a nice detail. And that's it. So let's get going. Let's get some flap in here. We're on a relatively short runway here. Landing strobes are on. There we go. Be helpful if I release the parking brake. Let's go ahead and throttle up our two big boy engines. Now, although this is Airbus, it does have a yoke. It's not your typical Airbus, and we're going off the runway. I believe this also includes, there's a separate model which includes the A310, which is very similar. It has the same virtual cockpit. But other than that, they're mostly different aircraft. Also by Thomas Ruth. And it comes with a bajillion liveries. Everything from Pan Am to DHL, Iron Air, you name it. It's probably got a livery on this thing. Let's get into the area. I think we got plenty of room. There you go. This was basically an early version of the 767. And since there's no 767 with a virtual cockpit, I have... with the good virtual cockpit, other than that's payware. But I like to run this thing, especially with the freighters, because freight airlines use this thing a lot for their transportation. And I'm going to turn this down because one disadvantage of this thing is it's really, really loud. But other than that, alright, let's see. Let's go ahead and stabilize our climb a bit here. We are stable, gear is up, flaps can come all the way in now that we're level. Now that we're starting to level off here. We'll take a right-hand traffic pattern, so we have some time to talk about this whole bird. Let's see, we don't wanna start descending. So let's turn to the left. There's Memphis, Tennessee. This is Memphis, Tennessee. There's Memphis Airport. We're making okay, let's throttle back here. We're about to way bust the FAA limits. Idle. One disadvantage that this and the DC-10 share is they are overpowered. Like they are really overpowered. But other than the game, let's get into the history of the aircraft. This aircraft was invented after the L-1011 and DC-10, as what airlines really wanted was this wide-body twin jet that could fly transatlantic. The one disadvantage this plane did have was this was before ETOPS when this plane came out, meaning that you couldn't fly this thing transatlantic. But once ETOPS became a thing, this aircraft became very lucrative for airlines on long routes but now it's been basically phased out by aircraft like the 777, 767, and other wide-body aircraft. But this is still very widely used at freight services like FedEx or DHL because they're cheap, there's a bajillion of them, and they carry a good freight load. And also, I really like the look of the A300. You know, I really like this aircraft. I really should do flights with these. I like the look of the A300 a lot. Other than that, it is a good model because this virtual cockpit has good detail, and you've also got the flight engineer's panel on the other version of it. But this cockpit has great detail. As you can see, everything on the overhead looks good and operates like it should. But that doesn't mean you have to fly it like this thing is the space shuttle. You can hop in this thing, full throttle takeoff, and just fly around it. You don't have to fly this thing like it's a PMGD 747. But you can. That's the thing. That's the thing about Thomas Ruth. You can either fly them complicated or you can fly them simple. And this aircraft is no different. So let's go ahead and level off here. You need to stop climbing and stop descending. Notice I'm nearly at idle power and we're still maintaining the speed. Very overpowered aircraft. Alright, we are now on our downwind leg. I have no clue what runway that was. Let me check. That'd be like runway 21, I think. That we took off on. Let's trim her down a bit. Alright, why are we're descending even though I'm... Anyway. I'm mumbling on at this point, aren't I? Yes, but let's begin approach. Drop 1 knot to flap. We'll go ahead and take the parallel runway because, you know, we know, let's be realistic. Let's fly the downwind. I'm going to increase power a little bit, and we're going to try and maintain our altitude here until we turn base. There is Memphis, Tennessee right there. This is obviously home to FedEx, so if you want to see some A300s, Memphis, Tennessee, you can go there if you really want to. I could have also chosen UPS and gone to Louisville. I didn't because I prefer FedEx. I don't know why. I don't know. Notice that arrow right there? Oh, yeah, see the arrow? Haha, that's totally like a 70 million year old joke, but you can see the arrow. Why am I pointing at the screen like I have a webcam? I don't. Okay, now we trim it down. Now if you take a look at this pedestal, you'll notice this is very different to other Airbus aircraft. This is not like your A320, A330, A340, A350, where you push the on button and it flies. This is more like a Boeing than an Airbus, and this thing doesn't fly. You know, it flies like it should. It's a relatively realistic model. Obviously, it's not the most realistic. You can obviously do barrel rolls at really low altitude and with low speed, like most Thomas Ruth aircraft. But that doesn't mean, like, it's not gonna, you know, it's relatively realistic. That doesn't mean it's actually, like, very realistic, but it's relatively realistic. Let's go and lower the gear. Some more flap. So let's slow it down a bit. Let's extend our base a bit, because we are coming in really hot. Our speed brakes here. As you can see around there, you can see the auto brake switch. We want that. Where are my auto brakes? Oh, come on, auto brakes. Will you work? Okay, there we go. We got auto brakes. Let's go and deploy our full flaps. Increase power a bit, and let's see. We are good to we are lining up with the runway.
Don't sink.
Shut up.
Don't sink.
Shut up. And that actually worked. Okay, we are coming in super hot. Here we go. Oh, yes. Okay. We are lined up with this runway here.
Sink rate.
See all the planes poked down there?
Sink rate.
Unrealistically 747s. Alright, let's see here. Let's get lined up before things get any worse. Okay. I probably should have chosen the other runway.
Don't sink. Don't.
Put some power.
Don't sink.
See if we can butter the bread on this old boat. Ooh, come on, old boat, let's get down. Put some power here a bit. Obviously, this aircraft. Oh, come on. Oh, yes, that is nice. Nice landing there, boss. Alright. We're through the decel. 100 knots. Through the decel. 60 knots. Cancel reversals. I think we can make this turn. Oh, come on. We can make this turn. Yes. Flaps are coming up. Speed brakes are in. Come on, brakes. Brakes. I'm pounding these brakes. Alright. We've stopped. We've come to a stop. Let's see. Let's turn our auto brakes off. Auto brakes off. And actually disengage the auto brakes. Let's taxi off the runway and shuttle down. So what do I give this aircraft out of 10? Well, I'm going to give this aircraft a 9.1 out of 10. And that's simply because very realistic actual cockpit, not the most realistic flight model. A good livery pack. It's got a ton of liveries. All of them look great. The aircraft looks great. It's got realistic lighting. It's got great engine sounds, and it's a relatively realistic aircraft to fly. But that doesn't mean you have to fly it like a PMGG. You could fly it realistically, or you can fly it like a default aircraft. That doesn't mean it flies like a default aircraft, but you can fly it like it. That makes no sense. But let's go ahead and get a cold and dark here. Yeah, so you guys can see no ground handling, but let's open it up here. Shift E, Shift E2. No, Shift E2. Did that work? Yes, it did. You got the luggage bays down there. I mean, more realistic cargo. And I don't think there's a Shift E3. Let me try. 3. No, that was too quick. Oh no, this is Shift E3. No, there's no Shift E3. Oh no, there is. That's Shift E3. That's nice. I need to notice. Shift E4. Shift E4. Ah, Shift E4. Yes. Okay, so it approves. I didn't know we had like 5 shift buttons. Shift E5. Shift E5. Shift E5. Well, you have a lot of shift buttons, that's for sure. Anyway, so you have a lot of shift buttons. You can open her up, get the freight out, get the freight in. So I give this aircraft a 9.1 out of 10 because it's a great model. It's a great, fun aircraft. It's also relatively realistic. Whoa, how you going there, MD-80? It's a fun, realistic, and well-handling aircraft, but it's not super complex. So that's why I give it a 9.1 out of 10. It does have a few disadvantages, like flying like a default aircraft, which is never really a good thing. But you could fly this thing professionally. There's no FMC, which is another disadvantage. But other than that, it's a great aircraft. And I think I would highly recommend this. So thank you for watching. And why don't you have yourself a jolly good day.